The importance of doing paperwork every single time, regardless of who you're dealing with. I learned my lesson again recently. So let me tell you what happened. Quick time, story time, okay? Once upon a time. So this is one of my very trusted, dear clients, almost part of my family, okay? We've known each other for about 6, 7 years. Multiple properties they've bought through me. Anytime they need advice on real estate, they pick up the phone and they call me, and I'm always at their disposal, right? Very recently, they came into a situation where a developer was demanding a certain amount of money on a deal that you could say had kind of like gone rotten. It was an old transaction. So obviously, me being their trusted advisor got involved. And to cut a long story short, over a 6 to 9 months period, from almost $1 million dirham that the developer was claiming from them, I got them instead $500,000 dirhams from the developer. Now, because I'm their point person on this, and every time I dealt with them, they always said, look, Fahd, you know best, handle the situation. You are our person. So appointment of the lawyer, appointment of dealing with the developer, and everything was done through me. And obviously they understood that I would be charging for my services as well. Now, if it was any other client, not this client, what I would generally do, I would have a proper agreement drafted up, have them signed, I would have countersigned. But because we were moving fast, I mentioned my fees and how it will be calculated in an email, which they just happened to miss. So I'd mentioned my fees and my fee structure in an email regardless to them, thinking that they would have seen it, they'd be understanding of it, and everything would go as according to practice. Anyways, as I told you, we solved the problem. Instead of they having to pay about almost $1 million dirhams, they end up getting $500,000 dirhams. And then obviously I send my invoice, which shocked them, right? They were like, whoa, we weren't expecting this invoice. We were expecting a much lesser amount. Long story short, we talked about it. We sorted it out. It was too much of a dear client for me to actually get worried about the invoice not getting paid. So I wasn't worried about that. And I understood it was my fault as well that I had not gone through the agreement process with them, which I would generally if I'm taking a new client on board. Sometimes in this business, but you get reminded, sometimes in this business, we can take a yes and a no on the phone, and we can hold our word or the counterparty's word to it because we've just dealt with them for so long. But a misunderstanding can come in, which is a lesson for all agents, every business provider, to always put things in writing with clarity to make sure that the other party, the counterparty you're dealing with, understands it, sees it, so that there are no issues later. As I told you, we solved the issue in a very nice way, in a very convenient way for both parties. I took part of my blame as well, to be honest with you. So I had to discount the invoice, but that's perfectly fine. The video is not talking about, this is not about the client, it's not about me, it's a lesson to be learned. And sometimes we get reminded about lessons again and again, and I want to share it with you so that you don't have to get reminded about it with a client or a buyer or a seller that you're dealing with. Put things in writing, let it be clear before you get to the deal closing, much before. All right, ciao for now.